Hari Om Rakesh ji, Hari Om Savitri ji, Hari Om. I think we can begin. Hari Om. We can begin with the invocation. Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhe Bhavatu Me Sada Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yatkrupatamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Vasudevam Sutam Devam Kamsachanurabhardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum. Jai Shri Krishna. Hari Om. So yes, we are into our 18th Adhyaya now. We have stopped at shloka number 35. Again, I request all participants who can turn on your video feeds, please turn on the video feeds. If you do not turn on, I will not be able to ask you to turn it on tomorrow again. So today you can please try. So let us see. 35th shloka we have stopped here. Can anybody recollect what is it that we saw? Yes, please. Yes, something. A link is formed, so we can immediately proceed.
Hari Om ji.
Hari Om ji. Hari Om Sanita ji. Yes, please. Anybody. Yes.
I think we stopped at this pleasures are also
We were going to see that even
tamas,
pleasure.
rajasi and sattvic.
Yes, so sattva, rajas and tamas, these three gunas are not leaving us anywhere. They are wherever, whatever we do, whatever work we do, our determination also is governed by the three gunas. So the stamp of the gunas is probably what Prakriti is putting everywhere. Yes, the impact of that is shown in a work. A work that is done rajasic requires a lot of efforts to do. Personal efforts are required. It is the individual who is the doer. There is no higher probably cause or divine force is not working. It is the individual force. And what does that happen? When you do that, it's like doing something against your will or where you are struggling on the inside. And when you do such a work, it gives you a lot of tiredness, a lot of pressure, a lot of strain. The same work you do happily on your own will when there is no opposition on the inside. The direct, what we can say, free flowing spirit is going on. Then actors can act very well, dancers can dance very well. All these moments suddenly they feel all fresh and free. Why is it? Because the spirit is in there. So when the higher spirit is functioning, then you don't have any strain. That happens in the sattvic state, where you're not attached to the outcomes, you're not attached to personal preferences or choices, you're doing what is right, and such works don't really require any kind of heavy strain to fulfill. Now, one example I can just think of is my own teacher, Damliji. Sir is 76, but at 76 also, morning 4 o'clock, night 12 o'clock, anytime if there's a meeting, he's always ready to and for work, and we never feel tired around him. It is something we feel more energetic, and his dialogue is change of work is rest. Means we don't need vacation. Why do you need a vacation? Or he says, why do you need a retreat? You are advancing in life. Why do you want to retreat in life? Why should you retreat? Instead, enjoy. Let your work also be as enjoyable as a vacation. You will not know the difference between the two.
Even Tamil teacher is always telling like this only.
Yes, ji. Which Tamil teacher, ji?
Her name is Susila. In my school days,
Okay.
I think she's no more.
Okay, ji.
But used to tell the same thing only. Change of work is
Oh, so lovely, so lovely. So wonderful to hear that. Ji, ji, ji. So yes, so this is the Rajasic way is creating trouble, Sattvic way is helping a lot, but Tamasic is causing injury to oneself or to others in a state of delusion. It is a person who is trapped in a cage but does not know the person is in a cage. Can such a person ever be free? No, it's not possible until that person realizes. And how will the person realize? When he lets go of the outer indriyas, impulses, the person connects. And anybody can realize at any time. One need not close our hopes also. If we see tamas only means there is always hope because it is the divine will that is spirit. It is said, the mother says, he who seeks the divine, he who chooses the divine is also chosen by the divine. Meaning the divine chooses and we don't realize it also. So that call is always there. We have to just hear, we have to listen, and then we have to probably follow. So yes, we saw this, but then comes the interesting part, pleasure also. Many times pleasure means we are all told it is like money. Money is evil. Like that, pleasure is bad. But we've seen money also is a manifestation of goddess Lakshmi. When the devas have money, they can bring about great material transformations. Asuras have money, they spread a lot of disquiet, trouble, harm. That's what's happening, is it not? When money gets concentrated in the hands of a few people who are doing bad for the world, then what is going to happen for Lokasangra? There's no chance. Then again, if it goes in the right hands, such great works can be done. Some billionaires don't own anything, though they are billionaires on paper. Entirely, they live very frugal lives and they keep spending it for the betterment of the world. There are people like that. Raja Janaka was the example that we were given. Become the Raja Janaka. So Krishna wants his followers to be rich also, but use that richness for the divine. Sri Aurobindo had given a beautiful lecture in the college, his last lecture to the students, when he had said, when I come back, that was before he entered deep into sadhana, when he was the head of this institute. He said, when I come back, I want to see some of you to be rich. In your richness, you are serving the motherland. If you are poor, in your poorness also you are serving the motherland. Nothing more, because you are able to understand your cause. And this is not the exact word-to-word reproduction. You will find that his famous speech. I'll try to find the link if anybody needs it. So it was there, he was saying, whatever you have, whatever situation you have, whatever circumstance, use it. If you are having the wealth, use it for the betterment. If you don't have also, it's alright. Use your poverty also. In that poverty also, you can serve. And that is why his speeches were so powerful that even Subhash Chandra Bose and all the other young revolutionaries got such fire. Actually, it was like fire burning in their blood, just reading this. It was a spiritual fire which was burning. It was not Rajasic.
Whose speech was that?
Sri Aurobindo. Sri Aurobindo, see. Yes, see. I'll just try to find that. Now we enter into pleasures, three types. What are they? What is it that Krishna is saying? Let us just see. We will start. Shloka number 35. 36, yes. Sukham tvidanim trividham shrunu me bharatarshabha abhyasad ramate yatra dukkhantam cha nigacchati. And now, O Arjuna, listen carefully to me, for I shall explain the pleasures three. By knowing them, you can be free of distress and dwell joyously and verily progress. So again, Krishna is saying their pleasures are also three types. When you understand them, what is he saying? Then you can be free from distress. You can be joyous. Krishna is not asking everybody to have a serious face, and most of the time spirituality means everybody feel you have to make a very stern face, or either there's a dead rat under the nose, that type of face people keep it, or God knows, so many different misconceptions are there. But Krishna is saying you can enjoy your life also. Why? Leela is there. Maya is a problem, Leela is not the problem, is it not? Leela is Ananda. You can experience you can become a conscious participant in the divine game. If you are unconscious, you are in trouble. So becoming conscious takes us out of the trouble. We can see behind the wheel of things also what is happening, what is the game. Sometimes you can see maybe I'm falling just because next rise also is visible. You can see the ebb and you can also see the rise. So that consciousness, when it comes, he says, understand even pleasures are of three types. And if you understand them, you will be free of distress. You can dwell joyously and verily progress. You can progress also in life, in Ananda. That's what Krishna is saying. Let us see. Yadadagre vishamiva pariname mrutopamam tat sukham satvikam proktam atma buddhi prasadajam. That which seems like a weapon, that which seems like a venom, poisonous initially, but is an ambrosial nectar ultimately. From a satisfaction of the spirit comes that pleasure, and it is said to be of sattva's nature. So initially it is like, it is a poison. It is visha. You feel, oh no, what is this? This is horrible, this is terrible, this is going to kill me, what am I doing? That kind of feeling comes initially about that type of pleasure, which is like, it's something like a medicine, is it not? When you take a medicine, most of the medicines are bitter, whether Ayurvedic or allopathy, whichever direction you see. The most bitter ones only are more powerful and potent. That's a very strange thing, but that's a way of nature also. Same is the case of pleasure. But afterwards it becomes ambrosia, it becomes immortal nectar. That is that pleasure. It comes from the satisfaction of the spirit. It is said to be sattva's nature. Can anybody give example of a sattvic pleasure? Anyone?
Doing yoga.
Acha, Pushpaji is saying, Dr. Pushpaji is saying, doing yoga. But why is it poisonous initially, Dr. Pushpaji?
It's very difficult to adapt the time
Ha
and
ha. Great
continuous
strain.
without doing this. Without
Yes.
skipping, doing continuously doing this.
And when you
And
start doing it, there are so many people telling, what are you doing? Why are you getting anything from this? What is this? It is silly and all of that. Is it not?
yes,
People laugh, people are all saying, what is it? What's going on? You get so many. And it's not just in yoga also, but that is right. Yoga sadhana or even yogasana or pranayam or anything, you take up a task of learning. Sattvic aspect, learning is also a sattvic act only. So when you try to learn something good. Yes, Diptiji
even
wants to
for
add.
us,
Yeah.
it's very difficult to start with. It's very difficult to adapt the timing and doing it
Yes.
continuous and all the things. It's to start with. It's very
Ji.
difficult.
Ji.
After that only we can.
Yes.
After feeling that sukha,
Ha, the
that's when we
Ananda, we
can.
can call it Ananda starts. Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes, Dr. Pushpaji. Ji, ji, Hari Om. Yes, Diptiji wants to add. Yeah.
Sometimes when somebody asks us to do something and we are in our own comfortable position, comfort zone,
Hmm.
we find it like, oh, why is that? But then if we somehow do, we are
Hmm.
being pushed, and then the benefit that we get.
Okay.
So, like for
Ji.
example, when I was young, my grandma used to tell me, do this, do that,
Hmm.
get the household things, and I was in an age where I used to think, no one from my age, none of my friends have been asked to do anything.
Ha, ha.
They are relaxing, and why is my grandma asking? It was like whatever, she will be after my life unless I do that thing.
Ha, ha.
But then during that time, I used to feel little pinch why she's telling, like I am just like 8, 9, and why she'll be pushing me.
Hmm. Hmm, hmm.
But the benefit that I
Later on.
see later on, I still thank her
Hmm.
till date.
Ji,
That
ji.
I mean that
Yes,
made
yes.
me really really strong when I actually went to the outer world,
Okay.
out of my house
Comfort
and
zone
comfort
and
zone.
yes, see.
But still, I mean that was like the pinch was there, but the benefit I reap
Okay.
till now.
Yes, yes, Deepti. That's a nice example. Yes, Savitriji wants to add something. Yes, please.
Very simple example to get up early in the morning.
Ha.
It may be difficult,
Ji. Yes,
but
yes.
gradually it is beneficial.
Yes, yes. And now I think so many days we have been getting up. Those who have not been getting up will now get conditioned to wake up.
That's
Bye.
why
Ji.
we are enjoying this class.
Ji.
So in the starting it may be difficult,
Yes,
but
ji.
now we are getting
Getting up.
so
Ji,
much
ji.
knowledge.
Ji, ji. All right, ji. Thank you, Savitriji. So, yes, this is the
This is the
thing.
best example she has given.
Ji, ji. Ji, ji. Thank you, Srinivas ji. Yes, so if you see, it's actually even Adhyatmic Marga. What is it? Krishna is asking. So we learned first principle. What was it that he taught us? Detachment, letting go of your desires. Now, desires are all what we can see. Krishna is taking away the only thing which we think is giving us happiness. He's asking us to surrender. Surrender to whom? Surrender to a divine that we cannot see. Surrender which our eyes to a God which our eyes are not telling us. Like Arjuna, we are also what? How can I believe this is there? Krishna told Surya. What is he saying? The first action of surrender also, how difficult it is. Karpanya dosho pahata svabhava. He is in a state of fear, panic, a muscular, strong, powerful, intelligent person who is experienced in life also is now trembling with fear because the Ahankar is not wanting to allow him to letting him surrender. But then what happens after surrender? Then he says, Deva Deva Jagatpate Prasida Devesha Jagan Nivasa. So many stutis start coming out and he is enjoying. And Krishna also says, I see you are enjoying this, so I will give you extra Rajavidya. I will talk more. You will receive because you are enjoying it. It is your heart which is receiving. So the spiritual path, it's like just I remember when I joined my teacher, my mother was met with some her colleagues and aunts. Some of them, one person actually came in front of her and she was almost mourning as if my demise only has taken place. And she was like, he's taken to spirituality, meaning what? God knows what she had in her mind. She thought spirituality means destroying a person completely. But that's not the case. Here Krishna is saying, here, this it comes from the satisfaction of the spirit. Understand what is good, what is nice. Somebody had asked, can we go to parties and is it allowed? Does Krishna allow us to go for a vacation or some travel? It's like Krishna says, take him with you. Why do you want to keep Krishna away? When you take him with you, he will not feel like consuming something for making you extra happy. People go take artificial inducements. Why are you seeking some powdery paradise when you can actually experience it naturally when the presence, in Krishna's presence? Eat an ice cream, share it with Krishna, or when you are with loved one, let Krishna also be present with you in that moment. How much special that moment becomes, only the gopis could understand that. They really experienced it. That was a brilliant joy, which even now people.
It's just like when people say that you have about high, like
Yes,
some people get a high with alcohol and some people get a high with even
drugs
some
and yeah.
conversations or
Huh.
like in
Okay,
their
yes.
own way also.
Yes, yes, and there's something
You have to be
natural.
high with that
When you do
only.
it is scientifically also proven, when you do particular dhyana, when you go into that state, you'll have certain hormone secretions which are natural, which give you no side effects also. They are coming naturally. Why do we need anything else? Many times why do you want to lower your consciousness to feel close off some sensations? Instead, when you can raise your consciousness and experience some joys which are again Chidananda Rupaha, Shivoham, that's a joy which has to be got. The joy of becoming one with the Creator. So that's Sattvic. Initially it does not look good, it looks difficult to let go. It feels, what is this? Or on the spiritual path also, everybody, see, I am walking on spiritual path. I am only getting disturbed. I have to let go of attachments. Look at all the other people. They are working with that. They are having attachments and they are enjoying. That is what many times we get the feeling when we look at it. But it is a superficial observation. Grass is always greener on the other side. You exactly go there, you will see that no, all is not so well there as well. So this aspect, this is the sattvic pleasure. Initially, it doesn't look like that. It's like exercise or some other discipline you are entering into. But the results later on, you know it is right. And the spirit inside tells you it is correct. That comes. That is the sattvic pleasure. But what about rajasic? Vishendriya sanyogat yadadagre mrutopamam pariname vishamima tat sukham rajasam smritam. That which is born of the sensual attractions of senses, objects, and their interactions. Seems nectar like first, but is a poison in the end. Such a pleasure as Rajas one can comprehend. So Krishna is saying that which is born from sensual attractions of senses, objects, and their interactions from the Indriyas, born from the Indriyas, all of these Indriyas. That is why Krishna is telling us. He is telling it for our own good only. What is he getting by asking us to become detached or rise beyond the Indriyas? Because initially it may seem like it is very good, but it actually later on becomes the poison. It ruins our life. Addicts understand that, but sometimes it's too late to when they understand it also. See, alcohol is, some people say, no, you don't have to talk about, don't touch, khane pe mat jana, like that. They say alcohol, don't touch or speak anything about that. But the problem is, fine, those who are in control, it's all right. But what about those, how many, the number of people who lose their consciousness? They say, whether are they drinking alcohol or is alcohol drinking them? That's the biggest question. And they lose their consciousness, they lose their things, everything, all the best relations have got spoiled, people have done the worst things, accidents have happened, all of that because consciousness is lost. That is a step, going into a state of ignorance. So what is the ananda there? There is no ananda at all. Initially it may seem pleasurable afterwards. So it is not just in the case of alcohol, also in any pleasure which comes from the indriyas. When they're based from the indriyas, after a while, because indriyas have limitations, we have studied that. So the pleasures coming out of indriyas also, they are a problem. So you will later on feel the same thing which was your pleasure has become a poison. No more is it, it's like even drugs when people take it. First time it gives them a kick. Afterwards, dosage has to keep on increasing to get the same feeling. After a while, they take more and still they are still restless, and whatever feeling that they got is already gone. So then it's very difficult. They have to get rehab and then de-addiction centers, all of it. But it's a big journey. But it comes later. So the knowledge comes later. That is Rajasic. The pleasure which you realize later on. Sometimes hurting people gives happiness to people. That's a sadistic thought and a sadistic perception. But even the sadistic people, after a while, it stops. They try to go, either they go worse or they course correct. But this aspect is that later on it becomes a person, and later on what karmas are done by the individual, that comes back to them very strongly. But Rajasic people are one, or Rajasic pleasures, you can realize later on. You realize later on that it is bad. And what is there greater than realization? So maybe early or late, realization comes, then a person is transformed. The Rishi can become a Valmiki, Valya can become Valmiki also with realization. Worse, sinner can be transformed, is what Krishna has said, any time. So that guilt of doing one need not carry in life. But realization, the moment realization comes, you transform yourself, a new direction comes. So that is Rajasic. So there's still some hope. There's still some hope when the pleasures of Rajasic also sometime the person may realize. But what about Tamasic? Just one example I can recollect is Damleji's one friend. He would take alcohol, but he would go in front of God's photo and take it. He would say, "You till the day you give me the strength to come out of it, I will continue. I want to come out of it. I know it won't come out of it." It was a little weird, but somewhere he had an understanding that this is wrong, and he wants to come out of it. I see. I want to realize the higher happiness, but I am not getting. This is a very whatever thought it is. We may not try to justify it. It's not justifiable, but at least he understood. And then something happened to him, and he realized. And then that was the last day he touched. Last day. It was something. It was like he wanted God to intervene and do it. Some kind, but somewhere he understood. Means what he was doing was wrong. So that understanding is there. Well, you can call it Rajasic. But what when the understanding is not there? Will you come out if you don't get the understanding? You have a pleasure, you do not understand it is poisonous. Yes? Will anyone come out of it if you never realize it?
No.
It's not possible, is it not? I remember when I was very young, I had asked.
Closing the doors, you are seeing that and you're closing the doors on your own.
Yes,
Your
yes.
benefit.
Yes, and I remember once I had asked, I was very young, I did not understand. I was just asked my mother when I was very young. I said, "Why is this pain? Why is pain there?" And this was a big question. And she answered very nicely. She said, "See, while playing you fall, you get hurt. And then you know it is paining, your leg is bleeding, and that helps you. Then you take care of your leg, you apply a bandage or something. Imagine if you don't realize that you have got hurt. Your leg will keep bleeding, all the blood inside will come out, and you will not even realize because there is no pain." So that each of it has its purpose. So that was her realization. So pain also sometimes is a teacher. Sometimes it's a very strong teacher. Sometimes it's a harsh teacher, strict teacher, whatever you call it. Pain is a teacher. It will teach you. Yes, Gayatri wants to say something.
Even scientifically, I think I don't remember whether it was in 7th or 8th standard science textbook.
Yeah.
It was the pain was explained this way only.
Okay.
Pain is this, it is a symptom which gives you a growth inside.
A signal, no? A signal. If there is no pain is there. Yes. Now we know that. Yes.
It is not been invited by, or it is not a wanted. It is one which is giving the signal that even the growth.
Yes.
At the age people will be growing, right?
Yes.
Growing.
Yes.
Growth is it's internal growth that then also will get the pain.
Ji.
Pain is not something which is unwanted.
Yeah.
Something good.
All right.
So that I'm feeling even in a spiritual life also, or when you're growing also, now also you can see that there is no pain.
No gain.
There's no gain.
Yes, Ji. Rightly said, Ji. Thank you. So yes, next comes the tamasic pleasure. That's the problem, which does not give you the pain only. You never realize you are wrong. So it is so difficult to come out. Yatadagre janubandhe cha sukham mohanam atmanaha nidralasya pramadotham tat tamasam udahratam. The pleasure which is illusionary in essence, in both its beginning and consequence, that stems from sleep, ignorance and lazy nature, arising out of tamas, is this pleasure. It is illusionary. You are trapped in Maya. It's like you want, and somebody tells you also, no, don't run after that oasis. It is just a mirage. There is no oasis there. You will actually hit the savior only. You will say, go away. I don't need you. I want to go for that. So you go running. But the problem in tamasic pleasure is, even after reaching there, it's like somebody telling you the banana is red from the inside. You know it, but if somebody is convinced that it is red inside, and even if it is white and no, this is red, what can you do to that person? Because that person is lost. It's an illusion. This is Maya. The person is trapped deep into Maya. That is why they say we need Krupa of Guru, we need Krupa of Bhagwan, we need to surrender to the divine When we are learning something, you must surrender to an elder who is expert, something like that, because our illusion will prevent us from seeing the truth. And as long as we are there, it's like I'm going on a journey and I just say, no, boatmen don't go this way, I want to go this way. But you do not know that journey, and if the boatman knows, we'll have to surrender to that. So, and divine is already yoga kshemam vahamyaham. So, can we decide or can we dictate terms to the Krishna or to the divine that this is how you must take me ahead? This is my understanding. The mother of Sri Aurobindo Ashram says you have to surrender even your way of understanding. Surrender even life you want to progress in a particular way is one aspiration that you have. You do not have to do that. How do we understand that? Well, best example is one participant shared her experience. She saw a young couple whom she had been knowing for a good time, and she saw that this couple is not having a child. Now she felt, no, this is not right. This couple should have a child, and so she has a very close association with Krishna for many years now. So for some reason she was just what we can say, fighting with Krishna. Also she would go to prayer, also special prayers. No, why are they not having? They're such a wonderful couple, they should have a child. Krishna, I don't like you for this, you better do something, you better do something. That was her entire dialogue. For almost so many months she did that. And not that she knew the couple so too well as well. They were a very beautiful couple. She felt from outside. That's a, what we can say, a very nice swabhav also, to be able to appreciate beauty without feeling jealousy or anything else. That is divine. But now here, what has happened is her expectation is there, no? And so she was surprised. She was very grateful that the couple had a child. She came to know. She was like, "Wow, this is so wonderful." And immediately she got a news that the husband has died after the child is born, and she was broken. She was afraid, and she was like, I'll never pray anything. What is it? Yesterday while talking to her, she felt, was I responsible on it? Because the people, they on a tantric level, is this force which is working, or what is it? Have I intervened? Because many times people try to heal. They say, I'm pranic healer, I'm a healer who is doing a particular healing. But who is the ayam me hasto bhagwan, ayam me bhagavat tarah, ayam me vishwa bheshajo, ayam shiva bhimarshana? Even that, because it is Shiva's wish, it is the hand of the divine, not an individual. When people take in and I am removing disease, I am also getting disease, it comes into the picture. So here, then I just, when we were talking, of course, leaving all these thoughts aside, I just said, why not look at it that the person still lives through the child. If that child was not there and that was destined already, whom would the mother have? What would be the future? A beautiful child is born. If you are taking credit for the bad thing, take credit for good thing, and then you can forget about taking credit after that. Do not try to intervene. Let us not. Who are we to decide what is going to happen? Who are we to decide what is good for me, for anybody else? When we are limited by our own indriyas, we cannot see what is beyond our limited perception. We cannot understand beyond our limited understanding. So this is tamasic pleasure, but tamasic does not allow a person to understand anything. And yes,
Can I
you.
say something?
All right, yes.
The similar thing I have also observed.
Hmm.
There was an uncle auntie in my neighborhood.
Yeah.
So they did not have a child for 21 years.
Okay.
They married.
Yeah.
So one day, one of the other neighbors, he used to go for a walk, and there was a small mazar
Hmm. Okay.
nearby. So he was walking by, and there he every day used to go. And then one day he was going, he heard the sound, crying of a little baby.
Hmm. Hmm.
So he went inside. So there was a little baby
Hmm.
in the mazar there lying.
Hmm. Hmm.
Nobody was there in that mazar that time. It was early in the morning. It was very very small. Like,
Ha ha. Okay. Ji.
so he immediately, the first thought that came to his mind was of this other uncle auntie,
Ha.
and he just asked somebody. He just called somebody walking by and said, please don't let anybody take this child. Just take care of him. I'll quickly go. And then our house is just like,
Okay.
he has just 5 to 10 minutes of
Yeah.
walking. So he quickly came back. He called them early in the morning. Just knocked their door, called them. That, see, I have seen a child there. Do you want to adopt him?
Hmm.
I mean, her. So they were like very ecstatic. Yes, yes, yes. And then all the formalities were done, like police
Ha.
check and everything,
Yeah.
and the child was brought in within 2 hours. Like,
Okay. Okay.
so there
Great.
was like, it was a joyous moment for, like, not just for them,
For
for
everybody.
our entire
So lovely.
society. Like,
Ji.
in
Ji. Ji.
all the lanes, we were like celebrating.
Hmm.
But then uh, they did a big function, naming function, everything happened. Then after like 2 years or 3 years or so, that uncle passed away.
Ah, okay.
So everybody was like,
Visit the child.
and yeah, some people were like that, and
Yeah.
some people like, अरे इनको तो सुख ही नहीं है, we
Okay,
can't see
all
them.
right.
So like that, they were just all, and it was like more of a pity kind of a
Ha
thing
ha.
for the family. And then someone said that it's okay, मतलब नहीं होगा तो ठीक है, but at least he has left the child with the mother,
Yeah.
who's going to be with her for the rest of her life, and she's not alone. So the God has already decided.
Ji.
He had a life, whatever he had to live, but now he has given something. So when you
Yes.
were talking, I was just recalling
Okay,
that
ji.
thing, like,
Yes, ji.
and
Yes,
the
Deepti
child
ji. All
also
right.
got some life, I mean,
Yes,
some
ji.
new life.
Yes, ji. So there are so many things which are happening. It's like we need not become creators or anything like that. We just have to be the nimitta matra, because we have seen ahankar in between as a problem. So let us just enter into the next shloka, the 40th one. न तदस्ति पृथिव्यां वा दिवि देवेषु वा पुनः सत्वं प्रकृतिर्जैर्मुक्तं यदेभिः स्यात् त्रिभिर्गुणैः. No being can exist on earth. Even in heavens, no god has taken birth who is not subject to nature's modes three. From its workings, all qualities came to be. These three gunas are there working everywhere. Rajas, Tamas, Sattva. Probably when Krishna is saying that, even in 18th Adhyaya, means this is the culmination. He is telling, become conscious of the working of the gunas. Sometimes the most intelligent people also say the most stupid things when they are governed by rajasic forces. So what does that show? Nobody is permanently intelligent or nobody is permanently foolish. Even a foolish person in a moment of sattva, Krishna can use him. Is it not? Most foolish person can tell the biggest Brahma Vakya also. We do not know from where, how. Yes, so that yes, somebody wants to add something. Bhamaji, you want to say something?
No, no, no. The previous thing I was just talking about. See, everybody cannot say Chidananda Rupa Shivoham.
Ha ha.
For us, it is the same Adi Shankara has allowed us.
Hmm.
Vallabhase Nija Karma Bhatam Vittam Tena Vinodaya Chittam.
Hmm.
From whatever we feel that it's comfortable, it's a sattvic ananda.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
can have kind of a pleasure like
Yes, yes.
traveling.
Yes,
traveling.
yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yes, exactly. Because again, Gunatit is not something which everybody can reach, but that is the highest, which has been shown. It has just been shown. That is the aim. Krishna even now is not saying, Arjuna, I want you to be like this. I want you like this. He is just saying this is it. If you see, no orders are given directly. So many adhyayas. Krishna is not ordering. He can take the authority. I am the pramana. I command you. I demand you. I force you. Nothing we see. That's the freedom of Sanatana Dharma. That is the freedom of Krishna as well. So, next what then? If all three gunas are there, that means then our svabhavas also, they are a combination of these gunas. Each of us is going to be born according to a svabhava. Satvik, all right. But what about people who are having a swabhava which doesn't appear satvik on the outside? We do not know. It is the swabhava of the person. Durvasa cannot be called angry man. He was a yogi, is it not? He was a yogi, but he appeared angry on the outside because of the swabhava which he had. Same way, Narada was again, we cannot say he's mischievous or he's got tamasic vritti, so he's coming and behaving like Shakuni Mama everywhere, poisoning ears, creating trouble. No, that's a outer surface, but what is it? Swabhava also. Now that is interesting. Krishna is telling that this, he is going to introduce the concept of Chaturvarnya.
Like we sometimes call
Bra-
some people
yeah.
like you are like a coconut.
Ha ha. Okay, hard on the outside, soft on
How
the inside. Yes.
sometimes we give example to
Yes, yes,
somebody.
ji. All right. Yes, ji, yes, ji. ब्राह्मण क्षत्रिय विशान शूद्राणां च परन्तप कर्माणि प्रविभक्तानि स्वभाव प्रभवैर्गुणैः. Depending wholly on their birth nature, there are the quadruple divisions of equal stature based on the individual's tendencies and innate aspects. Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, the four sects. So again, birth, nature, nobody has said birth only. Birth, nature, birth, sabha. Doctor's child need not become a doctor only, or engineer's child need not become an engineer. He can become a, what we can say, a cook also. It is no big deal that it has to be like this. But somewhere that nature was taken out, and then it's become very unnatural and rigid as well. So according to the Sabha, Krishna says, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya and Shudra, they are upon the individual tendencies of a person. Even nowadays, counseling is done to children, career counseling. They understand the aptitude of the child and then suggest the direction for the child to go ahead. somebody who likes lot of noise and has got lot of energy and probably rock, heavy metal music and all of that person. Imagine that person going into a library and becoming a librarian whose job is just to say, "Shh, don't make noise." What's going to happen if that person is put there? It's against the swabhava. Tomorrow that library will fall down, or there will be fire in the library only, because that person is it's against his nature. But same way, a person who is very silent, who's got a great understanding, spiritual scriptures and everything, and you say, "Chalo, you are now kabaddi captain. You go and play kabaddi." What's going to happen to that person? His body is not known to that. But this is just a generalization. Let us see what Krishna is telling. Shamo dhammas tapah shaucham shanti rajavamev cha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma svabhavajam. Performing penance, seeking knowledge with a forbearance, maintaining self-control with a steadfast perseverance. He is termed a Brahmin who is pure, calm and peaceful, for it is his nature to seek the spirit and be truthful. So Brahman is that person who is having that purity inside, seeking the divine, a calmness, great self-control, perseverance, seeking that spiritual wisdom, getting that knowledge, a great perseverance, all that included. That is the nature of a Brahman. Whoever is having that spirit inside, that person can be termed a Brahman who wants to learn, who wants to grow. But what about the Kshatriya? Shauryam tejo dhrutirudaksham yuddhe chapya palayanam danameshwara bhavascha kshatram karma svabhavajam. Heroism, high-spiritedness and strong physical ability, daring in battle with determination and gallantry, benevolence and a skill in leadership. Such is the Kshatriya's nature that commands lordship. It is the Kshatriya's nature. That person is a born leader. He commands. That aura is only aura of a leader. It's sometimes when you watch children also, all children in a group also suddenly start listening to one person. One person has that nature of taking people ahead. This happens in schools also. That person gets elected as the class leader, no matter what that person does. In college, I remember somebody had disturbed him personally, and so he decided, I will not stand as for election of class representative. I will not stand. But everybody tried to convince him. Nobody tried to go and convince the other person or anything. This person, no, you must stand, you must stand. And then finally, when he has himself withdrawn, election was done and somebody was elected. But what happened? The nature, that person also was going and consulting this person only what needs to be done. And slowly a new post came into existence called ACR. There was assistant class representative. So much that even the teachers started referring to the ACR only. What is the ACR saying about it? What is this? This is the nature of that person. No matter what, he cannot hide that. That is a svabhava. He's got that. And if you see his high-spiritedness, heroism, strong physical ability, they have this daring spirit. A determination is there, a great gallantry, a benevolence also, caring for the people the person is leading also. All these are the leadership traits which are found in a Kshatriya individual. That is Kshatriya. But can a person who is having calm and peaceful nature also be daring and also be powerful and also be strong? Yes. Somebody who has a Brahmin nature, can that person also be? Yes. Means
Yeah, if the situation is like that,
ha ha ha.
then that
No, by situation, okay. By situation, leaving that aside, but inherently, can a person have two traits also? Seeking wisdom also. Yes, yes,
can have.
yes. Parshuram is the best example.
Parshuram is there, yeah.
Yeah, he was like Agratas Chaturo Veda Prushtataha Sarasandhanu Idam Brahmam Idam Kshatram Shapadapi Sharadapi. His swabhava was to cut. He said, I have four Vedas in front of me, I have the weapons. I am Brahman, I am Kshatriya. I will cut with my weapons and with my curses also, is what he says. That's the Swabhava. So, yes, we have both possible. If both, why not all four also? Let us see what the other two are also. Let us see. Krushi Gauraksha Vanijam Vashya Karma Swabhavajam Paricharyatmakam Karma Shudrasyapi Swabhavajam. The Vaishyas are the craftsmen, the agriculturists, the cattle raisers, the skilled artisans, the businessmen and the traders. But the Shudras have only one aim in mind, to perform service for the betterment of mankind. So this is the nature of Vaishya. What is Vaishya? Vaishya is one person who is engaging in commerce, who is having this exchange taking place. You give something, get something in return. who is an artisan, who artists make beautiful art and then they give value. Art is priceless, but then they assign some monetary value and then they offer their work for that. The cattle raisers, the businessmen, the traders, who they only know very well how to deal. Sometimes if you want to you want to understand, you must go to somebody who has got a knowledge of business to understand transactions. You can get the best advice from there only. But what about Shudras? No matter what you tell them, they want to do service only. It is their aim. Service for the betterment of the world. That way, if you see India's greatest sector is most of the Indians belong to service sector only. That way, can we say all of us are Shudras in a way, in generalization, if we have to? Is it not? If the aim, if we're looking at the person's aspiration or the way of functioning on the outside as per the nature. But my question is, which of these four is important?
I guess all four.
All four, is it not? All four are important.
Because
When
every day of life, like there are four
phases,
sections in
four
the
sections of the
every day.
yeah, every day
So
also.
I can also have four depending on what I am doing.
We need to seek the spirit, is it not, in life? If we don't seek the spirit, we will be trapped in the indriyas. We'll go through a different chain of action, reaction, and suffering. So yes, we need to be Brahmins. All of us need to be Brahmins.
Like when
But
we work in the house,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
when
And
we
then
have
yes,
parents,
Deepti ji. Yes, ji,
so
yes,
that
ji.
is
Yes. So we need to be Brahmins. All of us need to be Brahmins because we need to seek the spirit. Tomorrow our ideals are being questioned, our principles that we stand for, our culture, our integrity. If somebody is attacking that, are we going to say, oh no, may the God work now? I'll go and hide under the bed and say a prayer, or I'll now take, if I don't have a weapon, I'll take the lut only and go. Is it not? So we need to be the Kshatriyas when we are defending our principles. Sometimes so many forces around us try to corrupt us. So that time, are we going to yield to it, or we are going to fight like a Kshatriya and stand by our ideals? So that is there. We need Kshatriya also. What about Vaishya? We go to the market now. If I take 100 rupees, I can be conned very easily if I don't know the value of what I'm. I even go to buy vegetables. One person will look at me. This person has no knowledge of commerce. I say, yes, yes, please, coriander, how much is it? Yes, only 100 rupees, sir, for you. And he gives me a coriander for 100 rupees. I'll be very happy. When I come back, I will understand what a big fool I have been because I didn't know the value. This is hardly worth 5 rupees or 10 rupees, and he's charged me this much. So, there, in our simple transactions every day, also, we cannot say, I don't know, money matters. A lot of people hide in ignorance. They say, no, money matters, I don't see. Is it because you are selfless? Or is it because there's a little bit of tamas which is not allowing you to enter into that field? It is tamas only because you need to be conscious. If you are not conscious, what's going to happen? Some people don't even know what money is coming into their bank for years and years. It's like no, the zeros keep increasing, but they don't know. They don't even know if somebody were to quickly take out some money. Also, the person will not understand. Or just because that notification has not gone on the phone, the person does not know. Also, because the person has not been conscious. But that is being unconscious of Goddess Lakshmi also. There are people who are struggling. They are struggling to put food, like have food on the table. They know the value of money. You see, even 10 rupees, 100 rupees. There are big fights in homes over 100 rupees also. And then there are people, they don't know if their 100 rupees lying somewhere, it is lost or somebody is stolen. People continuously take some amount of money also and they don't get conscious of it. So, yes, we need to be Vaishyas also. But then, what is life without being a Shudra? Without doing service? Krishna has told Yagnya, Dana, Tapa, all of this, yes. But service, there is no higher purpose. Loka Sangraha is what Krishna has told us. Then that is something which we cannot leave. So again, all four varnas, it is inside. Sri Aurobindo would ask, what is the caste of the soul? What can you ask? Atman is beyond that, is it not? Nirvikara, we can say, Name Jati Bhedaha. Nothing is there because that is the inner essence of an individual. So that is what Krishna is talking about. If these shlokas of the Gita are known to people, how wonderful it would be. Because even now in the village where I work, there is still discrimination which is taking place between two castes. One is in other backward caste category, and another is a scheduled tribe. So the OBC has become the upper caste, scheduled tribe has become the lower caste. A small village with only two roads, but people from this place don't go there, people from that place don't go here. I was taking an English class, the entire thing collapsed because of this caste clash. because one person stopped me, and that person did not care. He was a politician with tamasic pravrutti. He just wanted money from me. I said, I don't have. But if he said, what, you are teaching only for a particular caste? I said, I don't teach for anything. I don't see that. Then he said, will you take for my people? I said, yeah, what your people? Who wants to learn, you ask them to come. That was the last thing I had told him. Next day I get phone calls, there will be tension in the village, there will be problem. I was like, what is one spoken English class going to create? How can it create? I was not understanding, but then I understood it's so strong. These are what deep rooted, these are sanskars which only with sadhana people can come out of it. These politicians don't want to help them come out. So this aspect is there, this realization is so important. Even today, we still divide, consciously, unconsciously, we are all becoming like Dhritarashtra if we do not eliminate this inside of ourselves at least, and then our near and dear ones. So let us go on. Krishna says the Siddhi, about Siddhi, how Siddhi is got. Sve sve karmanya viratah sansiddhim labate naraha sakarma niratah siddhim yatha vendati tatshrunu. A man who in his own works of nature perseveres, his skills mature, as towards perfection he nears. How perfection is achieved, I shall now say. Listen to me, as I shall reveal the way. He says, how perfection in work is spirituality is what my teacher also says. Sri Aurobindo's principle is also that. Gita also tells same thing. To Arjuna, Krishna says, Yogaha karmasu kaushalam. But how do you get that? How is that kaushalya got? Or how are you going to become perfect? Is it possible? Some people are very perfect in their works and we wonder, what is this? How is it? Well, Krishna says, I'll tell you. Yatah pravrutir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tamabhyatya siddhim vindati manavaha. The creator of all living beings in this creation, the supernal one who brought forth every manifestation, by worshipping him through one's own work with devotion, a man can attain the zenith of perfection. So Krishna is saying, worship that person through your devotion and your work. That is all. If you do, imagine, it's like prasad is being made. When prasad is made for Krishna, Janmashtami prasad will always come out right, is it not? When it is being made for Krishna, the praman is perfect. It is not too sweet, it is not less sweet, it is not little extra, not less, it is perfect. Children also say this is divine. They say, I am waiting, why only Janmashtami? Well, what to do? Krishna is, we are conscious, fully conscious of his presence only on that day or on the special festivals. So what happens there? You are offering your works with devotion to the divine, whatever work it may be. So any work that is offered to the divine with perfection, divine is able to function through you and ensure perfection also. You don't have the knowledge, dadame buddhi yogam tam is what Krishna is saying. I'll give you that buddhi, that will make you unique also. That will set you apart. Krishna's touch. Sri Aurobindo says all is possible when the God touch is there. When is that? Well, how is the God touch going to be there? When you are only saying, God, don't touch me, move away from me, stop it, run away. When you do that, where will the divine touch? We are only turning away the grace when it comes to us. Grace is always there, but until a man decides that no, I want to allow, I gave the sanction, even God cannot function. So yes, the simple aspect, offering your
For
works.
example, when a student goes for an exam,
Yeah.
so how much ever they prepare, they just say, "Na Bhagwan, please, acha karo."
Yeah, yes,
Dhyan rakho."
absolutely.
So then, actually, we see the result.
Yes, consciously. Yes. So let us go on. Shreyan swadharmo vigunaha paradharmat svanushthitat swabhava niyatam karma kurvannapnoti kilvisham. It is better to perform one's own work faultily. Now for first time Krishna says it's okay. Mistakes are alright, he says. Than to under a compulsion of law perform perfectly. When one follows one's own inner nature, one incurs not any sin of any stature. So it is alright, it's alright if you are doing some work, it's not so grand, but you are doing it according to your swabhava. You are following your inner spirit, you are following your inner nature. It may not be perfect. Krishna says it's better than crushing your inner nature and doing completely opposite, going against that inner nature, inner swabhava. Because it's like you cannot tell a fish to climb a tree, is it not? It is something like that. Follow your swabhava, work through your swabhava. Krishna says, yes, transcend your swabhava, transcend your limitations of prakriti. But how are you going to transcend? It is going to happen through your swabhava only. When one follows one's own inner nature, one does not incur any sin. There is no sin of any type that is incurred by the individual. Sahajam karma kaunteya sadoshamepa natyajet sarvarambha hi doshena dhumenagni rivavrataha. The duty towards oneself, O Arjuna, one mustn't forsake. Without abandoning works, in all actions one must partake, even if defectively done, as all actions are cloaked with defect, just as fire is masked by its own smoke's effect. Meaning, Krishna is saying, see, even if there are defects in your work, it's okay. Offer it, and do it sincerely. That is all he's saying. And it is a normal thing to have mistakes. Mistakes will come initially. So here who is asking, the person who is asking us for the ultimate perfection is also understanding that imperfection is okay. If it happens, it is something, but you cannot stick on to imperfection. You'll have to transcend it. Keep trying, abhyasa, again and again. Every action which is done will have some amount of imperfection, but afterwards it will lead to perfection. And this is what Krishna is saying. See, even fire, sometimes big fires which firefighters also are not able to douse because they are not able to gauge how big the fire is. The smoke is only covering the fire, because that is the nature of smoke. What does smoke is arising out of the fire, but that smoke is only covering the brilliance of the fire. It is something like that. So imperfection is also a part of life. Let go. Don't let go of the work. Just don't get attached to that imperfection. Also, just keep trying to slowly move towards perfection. Krishna says here next, asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma vigata spruha naishkarmya siddhim paramam sannyase na adhikachati. He says, when the soul is conquered with detachment, leaving no room for desire or attachment, man transcends regular actions through renunciation, and every action is performed with impeccable perfection. So, when you do every karma as an aradhana of the divine, that each karma will become a siddha karma, you will get naishkarmya siddhi, you will attain perfection when you offer it to the divine, is what Krishna is saying. With detachment, when you are conquering, the Atman, you are the real Jitendra who is won over the Indriyas. No attachment is driving a person, no desire is driving a person away from the aim and the goal while doing the work. It is simple, is it not? If mother is concerned about the child, that is right, mother should be concerned. But when she goes to work also, and if she is concerned about the child, and she's always worried about the child and she's never able to focus on the work, what's going to happen? The boss will say, you go home, sit with your child. Now what will she take care of the child? When for the child only she is going here. So somewhere she will have to understand. It's alright, but follow the inner nature. Follow. One lady had to wait 17 years to take a decision to follow her swabhava. 17 years is such a long time in life. But in Maya you don't realize how time flies also. But somewhere she wanted, but she was like, this is grander work, I cannot leave this, society will tell me this will happen, that will happen. And she says, but 17 years I was carrying it in my heart, I was not satisfied. And she says, that first day when I took that decision, and when I went ahead, I got my job also in that particular sector which I liked. She says, I had the most peaceful sleep. I lost my friends, she says, who were on the different status. They suddenly said they don't want to talk to her. She's earning much lesser than them. She's not according to them. And all that, she said, I didn't care about that at all, even one bit. Now she says, I may not be earning as much as I was earning then, but earning is just a means for me. What satisfaction I'm getting. Every day I'm sleeping so happily. But 17 years I had to wait, and I keep wondering why I did not take this decision 17 years ago. This is the aspect. Follow the Swadharma, your inner voice tells you. And Krishna is saying, when you are following it, when you are not allowing desires, attachments to come into place, regular action becomes divine action. Naish Karma Siddhi comes at your feet. You don't have to worry about it as well. Krishna says, Janma Karma Chame Divyam. So this Divya Karma, you realize it, what bandhana can trap you anymore. That is what Krishna is saying. Let us see on. Let us see. Siddhim prapto yatha brahma तथाप्नोति नो निबोध में समासे नैव कौन्तेय निष्ठा ज्ञानस्य या परा. How is it that the union with Brahma is gained? When is it that perfection is attained? O Arjuna, listen, for I shall now explain the most supreme knowledge that man can gain. Buddhya vishuddhaya yukto dhrutyatmanam niyamya cha Shabdadin Vishayans Tyaktva Ragadvesho Vyudasya cha. By cleansing and purifying the inner self and holding a firm control over oneself, by renouncing all the objects of sounds and senses and being bereft of anger and repulsive reflexes. So not allowing anger inside, not responding on in a sudden impulse, not having hatred, not having dvesh inside, not getting trapped to objects or indriya based impulses. All these things a person who is able to be firm. Let us see next one. Vivekta, this is a continuation. Vivekta sevi lagvashi yatava kaya manasaha dhyana yoga paro nityam vairagyam samupashrita. Controlling mind, speech, body. So again, this is the same what we saw already, is it not? The tapasya, doing a sattvic tapa, where sharir, man, our body also, everything. Mind is there, speech also, body also. Heart, mind, and speech are speaking the same thing. That person is clear in conscience. He does not have to hide. Many people speak something on the surface. In their heart, something else is there which they don't want to reveal. That results in a weak words. The words are not powerful also because the force of spirit is not there. So having the same. And then this is strong. Ignoring materialistic company means ignoring the company that is lowering your consciousness. We are all not Kubers that we have a continuous so much unlimited source of consciousness that we can allow anybody to drain or eat on or be parasitic on our spirit inside. We need to protect ourselves. We have our own dharma. We have our swadharma to follow. We have to go ahead on our path also. We have not reached the zenith of realization. So we need to, sometimes we have to protect our consciousness like a flame has to be very safeguarded from different winds. So materialistic company, it is Krishna is saying, avoid. Meaning if you know people, he's not saying run away from such people. But stop the gossip, stop unnecessary talks which are going to lower your consciousness. That is the problem. Doing anything that lowers your consciousness is the problem. Krishna doesn't say anything else about leaving people or running away from people. Look at Krishna. He was surrounded by all different types of people. The company of people did not make a difference in his sthiti. And why Krishna is example? Not because he is like Krishna, I cannot be like that. Krishna is telling you to be like him. And he is telling it because it is possible. It is possible for man, that is why he is giving that. God is inviting. Sri Aurobindo had written a beautiful poem, Invitation. Who will come with me? Who is going to ride? Who is going to walk? It's a beautiful poem. You can just Google it. Where how he is saying, who will dare to walk with me? Who will come to climb this great ascent? Who will participate in this joy? Not everybody accept the invitation. People turn it away as well. So this ignoring materialistic company, eating moderately. Eating yes, but moderately. For maintaining an inner harmony, keeping the balance. So that should not be lost. Favorite food? Okay, eat your favorite food. Relish the taste. But don't allow the taste to cause a disturbance in the inner harmony. That's too much. That is absolutely wrong if you do that. Seeking a union with the eternal through regular meditation. Dhyana is recommended. Kanaji is recommending even in 18th Adhyaya. Meaning if you are not engaging in dhyana, it's high time we start practicing dhyana. It is required. Some quality time. We spend with so many people. When are we going to start spending some quality time with ourselves? It's very essential. Krishna tells that. And when we follow what Krishna says, I'm telling you, the joy is unparalleled. We just have to try. We have to try it. Sometimes maybe sounding like, what is this? It is like Visha in the start. No, we have seen that. Krishna is not giving us any Rajasic direction. He is going to give us the Ananda. It will come to us. We can taste. One person I know, she used to do so much japa that she permanently had a sweet taste in her tongue. They would say she was experiencing Amrita. One very senior grandmother in the family. So I am not in my family, so I am somewhere connected to some family member. I have never met her, but she was always in a nitya japa state that in her last moments she was having a sweet taste in her tongue all the time. And there was some yogi had come and said she is the one, she is tasting Amrita. We are not getting that taste. That was a very different experience, and she was always smiling. We know that much only about her. Dadima was happy all the time. That's all we know. We don't know anything about her. But that state, so this is what Krishna is saying. Seek that union. Practice meditation. Letting go of desire. Get that absolute renunciation. Get that happiness. Ahankaram balam darpam kamam krodam parigraham vimuncha nirmamaha shanto Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate. Discarding egoism, anger, and arrogance, desire, possessiveness, and violence, of all feelings of proprietorship, when one is free. To become the Brahman, one is fit to be. When all this ownership, ego, I am the proprietor of all of this, I hold ownership, I am this anger of an individual, the arrogance, the desire, all of this. Well, if that person is able to let go, he or she is fit to be the Brahman. Brahma Bhuyaya Kalpate means that person is fit to get the highest realization, is what Krishna is saying. It's so simple getting the highest realization. Maybe the way of getting it is easy, practicing it is only difficult. So let us see. Brahma Bhutaha Prasannatma Na Shochati Na Kankshati Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labhate Param. When one becomes the Brahman of the liberated self, by engaging in purification of oneself, neither grieving nor desiring, and perceiving all to equal be, with love supreme and devotion, those souls verily attain to me. What's going to happen to that person? Well, that person, you will not see that person cranky or irritated or always disturbed or agitated. You will see a universal love. I think many times it's grandparents, they have that feeling only. When you're at that particular age, they have seen so much in life, they've experienced so much that a permanent Shanti comes in. So children, grandchildren just come, and because there's no connection with this generation and that generation, they are so far away. The experiences of the world are so different. And what will that generation teach? They can just speak some nice things, but everything is beautiful. They wonder why always some children enjoy being with grandparents, because they always smile. There always that joy in their presence. So it is something like that. This person has suddenly transcended. This person has got that love and is loving the divine with full, what we can say, devotion. After getting the realization also, what is he going to do? The bhakti is there. Bhakti is going to continue. Maybe we can directly, we know the outcome only. So after realization also bhakti is going to be there. Why not use bhakti right from the start as our vehicle for the realization as well? Krishna goes on. 55th one. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato gyatva vishate tadanantaram. And he who by devotion evolves to know me and about all my existences that can be, my reality and principle, he truly understands, uniting with my consciousness. Supreme he stands. So Krishna says, with Shraddha. Again, we have seen so much about Shraddha, and all the Adhyayas, 18th Adhyaya also is going to have that. Shraddha Mayoya Purushaha. It is Shraddha. It is after Shraddha only you get the Jnana. Shraddhavan Lavate Jnanam. And what happens with Jnana? Jnanam Labdhva Param Shantim. Machirenadhikachiti is also said in the Gita. So again, ultimate peace. So this is what Krishna is saying. That person, he with devotion he is able to evolve. He realizes the divine. He understands the reality. He understands the principle. And he unites in consciousness with the divine. And he remains supreme, is what Krishna is saying. Sarva karmanyapi sada kurvano madvya pashrayah mat prasada davapnoti shashvatam padam avyayam. It is by my prasad that the shashvat sthan will be reached by that person, he says. And when in me he is situated firmly, all his actions he performs verily. By my grace he attains the eternal, thus uniting with the supreme creator, the creator supernal. Means that person, he is risen in consciousness. He has attained Krishna's consciousness. And Krishna says, the highest stance, I will raise that person, because this person in my consciousness, he is functioning. He is doing all works in my consciousness. So there's no running away from work. Krishna is not giving that option anywhere, anytime. He goes on further. Chetasa sarva karmani mai sanyasya matparaha buddhi yoga mupashritya matchittaha satatam bhava. By surrendering oneself completely to me, when all the actions and thoughts can be devoted, even the thoughts, not just action, even thoughts are being surrendered to the divine. Through yoga, when one incessantly strives, uniting the heart and mind, in my shelter he arrives. Most of the time, this is the dvandva, this is a great battle. Heart and mind, they're all fighting, and our life becomes miserable because of the fight of the heart and mind. One day one person tells this is right, the mind says no, this is wrong. Some days we accept, in some places we accept the heart, some places we accept the mind. And because there are two, you are always unsure, who should I listen to, what should I listen to, who is writing, who is the correct one, who is not. Well, this fight is over, is what Krishna is saying. Where is your heart? Where is your mind? It is in one place only. And that union has taken place. You are in my shelter. When that union is there, you can recognize you have got that ashraya of Krishna himself. That is why this union has taken place. What is yoga? Yoga is union. When the lover is united with the beloved, that is yoga. When the oneness has taken place completely, no separation at all. Krishna goes on, mat chittaha sarva durgani mat prasadat tarishyasi अथ चेत्वा महंकारान् न श्रोष्यसि vinangshasi. When the mind and the heart become one, united with me, all your battles are won. At the times of peril, they are safe passage, I assuage. Only if ego, self-ego still prevails, one falls into hell's cage. So Krishna is saying that, see, when mind and heart become one, all your battles are over. This he is telling to Arjuna, who is going to fight a deadly Kurukshetra. But before that Kurukshetra, he is saying that inner Kurukshetra should be first over, become the champion on the inner battle. Once that battle is over, your mind and heart are speaking the same thing. There is no doubt, there is full clarity, the consciousness has become one. And how is it one? Surrendered to the divine. That time, it is so easy, is what Krishna is saying. Only if Ahankar is there, then what's going to happen? Well, he's saying in 18th Adhyaya, if Ahankar is there, then the person is going to experience Naraka in life also. Meaning what? Ahankar is the biggest problem. Even until 18th Adhyaya, Krishna is saying that then if Ahankar is there, yoga is not possible. Union is not possible. So we'll have to let that go. Now, interestingly, look at this. This statement tells you why Krishna took 18 Adhyayas. We may wonder to say this, what he said right now. All these 18 Adhyayas were not required because this one shloka tells already. Krishna says this statement. He says, Yad ahankara mashritya na yotsya iti manyase mithyaisha vyavasayaste prakrutistvam niyokshati. It is because you are taking refuge in your ego. This battle you are seeking to forego. I will not fight, you vainly say. But your inner nature will make you spar anyway. This is your svabha will make you work even if you say you don't fight. It is your ahankar which is telling you that no, I will not fight, I am going to run away. What is going to happen, do you think, to Arjuna when he hears the news of an arrow piercing the heart of Abhimanyu? Will he still be quiet, or will the Kshatriya inside rise? What do you think? Krishna is saying the same thing. He says, see, I know your nature. It is your ahankar which is telling you to go this way, that way. But you see, ultimately, how the mother says, you do it or you will be forced to do it. So the problem is when you are forced to do it, then it's a difficult moment. Arjuna, if he was forced to do it by circumstance, it would not have been the same outcome also. Sometimes we push things till they are too late. But he said, Krishna says, see, either ways you are going to participate in this battle. You might run away, hide for a few days, then you will hear bad news, and then he will get up and no, I cannot, my brothers are no more, I have to fight. Something like that our nature is that as a Kshatriya, you have fought so many battles. It will not allow you to sit quietly. He goes on further, next sloka, 68th one. Swabhava jena kaunteya nibaddhaha svena karmana kartum nechasi yan mohat karishyasya vashopitat. Because of delusion, you do not desire to fight this battle. You seem not to aspire. O Arjuna, in it you will ultimately have to partake. If not on your own, you will be forced for your nature's sake. So if Krishna knew this from the beginning, why give the entire pravachan? Well, no, he wants Arjuna to realize. He is raising his consciousness. That is the entire reason. It is not a waste what he has told, because this has raised Arjuna's consciousness. But we'll have to see. Arjuna is silent. We don't know. Silence is half consent, it is said, but we don't know. Silence also means somebody is not agreeing also. So we don't know what Arjuna is going to say now. Ishvaraha sarvabhutanam hridyesher janatishthati brahmayan sarvabhutani yantra rudhani maya. The Lord that is seated within every living heart. O Arjuna, he steers and initiates everything start. Like machines, all creatures are made to obey and act as per the will of his Maya's way. This is the Maya, this is the Prakriti's force, this is the power of Prakriti. Prakriti is making us like yantras, Prakriti is utilizing us. Krishna is saying this. And look at Sri Aurobindo's mantra, where he has said, Yantrani chalaye yantram yatheshtam gananaike prakashasva prakashasva sveya shaktim prakashet. Saying, here, oh master of this instrument, master of this instrument, use this sharira, use this soul, use this atman, however you wish. But let your light manifest through me is what he is asking. Prakashasva, Prakashasva, let your Shakti flow through me and use this instrument. That is a state of surrender. In surrender, allowing the divine to function. Now Krishna gives an advice, and this is the last part of the Gita, one of the last advices that Krishna gives him. 67. Tameva sharanam gaccha sarva bhavena bharata tat prasadat param shantim sthanam prapsasi shashvatam. Seek refuge in him in every way. This is an advice he is giving. It's not an order. It's just an advice. Advice can be followed, it can be rejected. Seek refuge in him in every way. Oh Arjuna, verily in every single way, whatever way you can understand, take that Sharana. Have that. There's a joy in seeking Sharana of the divine. It is not surrendering to an enemy or some mortal. You are surrendering to the divine, our own parent, our own divine father, our own divine entity. Mitra, our Bandhu, our Sakha, our Mata, our Pita, our Param Dhama, everything. We are just taking refuge there. For by His grace, the supreme peace you can attain and the eternal status you can obtain. So when you surrender, everything, it's not going according to your wish. Everything is going haywire also. It's alright. Surrender to the divine. Watch how peace will enter into your life, is what he says. Now he says, Iti te jnana makyatam guhyat guhyataram maya. Again, surrender is the last thing he says, the secret of secrets. Final one, he says, it is surrender. Vimrashaitat dasheshena yathechasi tatha kuru. The last part is not like, see, I have talked to you for 18 adhyayas now, Arjuna, now you better do this for me in return because I have spent so much time. He says, no, yathechasi tatha kuru. This is the freedom of Sanatana Dharma. As you wish, you do according to what you wish now. I have finished telling you, he says. Thus to you, O Arjuna, I have fully revealed. The most secret knowledge I have unveiled. So now, by taking my cue, your mode of action, you are free to choose. You are free to do what you choose, is what Krishna is saying. What do you want to do? You can do now. I have finished telling you. You asked me advice, I have completed it now. Now it's up to you. But then, when there is love, when there is Shraddha, when there is Bhakti, we always get a little bit extra. That is, the bonus comes to Arjuna here only. Though Gita could have got over now, he adds some more. This is specially for the Bhaktas only. He adds 64 shloka. Sarva guhyatamam bhuyaha shrunu me paramam vachaha ishtosi me drudamiti tato vakshyami te hitam. And yet, another secret. Hear me, for I shall explain. As you are my devotee, I hold you main. You are the most intimate and dearest. Hence, I shall say to you what is best. You are so dear to me, so I will add you. It's like the bonus which is coming because of bhakti. Gita is over, but Krishna is adding a little bit more. What is it? This is the shloka which we had seen earlier also. Man mana bhava mat bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru mame vaishasi satyam te pratijane priyosime. So the 75% of this shloka was same in the start. I think if you can recollect, I had told you before also. There is one shloka which is just the same. Only last portion changes. So the full part is the same except the last portion. That time he says, you open the door for the divine. Let us see what is the change now. This is for the bhakta who has surrendered to the divine. Merge into my consciousness. Become my lover. Become my sacrifice. Be my adorer. Bow to me. And you shall come to me certainly, my dear one. This is my promise. I shall fulfill. Verily. This is Krishna is now saying, it is I will take you across. This is my promise. That time it was our job to open the door, to stretch our hand and seek the divine. That was Arjuna then. Now Arjuna is the Bhakta Arjuna and Krishna is saying, my dear Bhakta, just he says, become one with me. Try to gain Krishna's consciousness. I will take you across, he says, and this is my promise. I will fulfill that promise. Take this. This is my vacha I am giving, my shabda I am giving you. Then comes the interesting part. Sarva dharman parityaje mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyo Mokshayashyami ma shuchaha. Do not grieve. I will liberate you, is what he says. Sarva dharman parityaje. So even dharma and all, who is going to give us understanding of dharma? We have talked about highest being gunatit. Tamasic person will be not understanding what dharma is. The Rajasic person will call dharma adharma, adharma is dharma, and keep engaging in battles. Sattvic person may realize, but even Sattvic person has a limitation of understanding. There is a higher dharma. Krishna is asking you to surrender to that higher dharma. You don't need to get trapped in any other rigidity. Renounce all your dharmas that you so rigidly own. Surrender to me. Seek my refuge alone. From all your sins and evil I shall relieve. I shall bring deliverance. Do not grieve. He says, yes, there is a higher dharma, which is, we can call it Krishna dharma. Best way to understand. What is my Krishna dharma? You will not have any clash of dharma at all. If you follow Krishna dharma, all other dharmas will automatically fall in place. So there is a higher dharma which is beyond, and that is in surrender, that you can realize. And Krishna says, Ma shuchaha, do not grieve. Now next, about the Gita. So should we go around preaching the Gita? What secret has been given? Krishna has told. Now let us go around spreading. You will get punya, I will get additional punya points which are being stored by Chitragupta. Is noting down. This person has a good count. He has initiated 500 people. This person has initiated 5,000 people. He must get 3 BHK. Is that what Chitragupta is doing? No. About preaching the Gita also, Krishna says here, Idam te na tapaskaya na bhaktaya kadachana na cha shushrusave vachyam na chamam yobhya suyate. Speak not the truth to he who performs not penance, or he who lacks faith and dwells in ignorance, also not to he who performs not any service, and to he who causes the indwelling God disservice. Krishna is saying, don't go preaching, not to those who have not done any tapasya, not that person who has no shraddha, that person who is happy in the ignorance, not to that person who has never done service to others, not to that person who is causing the disturbance to even the divine inside of the individual and others. Don't teach the Gita to that person, is what Krishna is saying. Then what should we do? Should this be hidden, separate, secret knowledge, exclusive knowledge, not passed on to everybody? No. Next sloka clarifies everything. Ya idam paramam guhyam madbhakteshva vidhasyati bhaktim mai param krutva mame vaishyatya sanchayaha. He who shall with the most supreme devotion pass over to my devotees this secret declaration, he too shall verily unite and come to me. About this no doubt can there ever be. He says, no, but that person who is somebody who wants to hear, you meet somebody who says, I want to learn the Gita. Don't leave that chance, is what Krishna is saying. He says, whoever is passing that, my words, these are my words, you are doing my work, is what Krishna says. He says, don't have any doubt, you will come to me, you are my yar, you are my friend, you are my sakha. I will take you. Do not worry, is what he is saying. Somebody who wants to hear. And then he goes on further, he clarifies further. Nacha tasman manusheshu kashin me priyakrattamaha bhavita nacha me tasmad nacha me tasmad anyaha priyataro bhuvi. So mad bhakta cha me priya, Krishna kept on saying in Bhakti Yoga. Now we see who is the dearest. Dearest, he says, and no other man can be nearer, for none shall I hold dearer than he who does this task for me. Dearer than him, none shall ever be. So the greatest chance to become dearest to Krishna is to pass on the Gita's message by principle, by action, or even by passing it on to someone who is having devotion for Krishna, to someone who wants to understand. He goes on further. Next, so that person is the blessed one, that person is the lucky one who is doing that. Yes, but not just he. Let us see who else are going. It is like what we can say, everyone is getting the blessing. It's a shower which is falling and the rain falls on everybody. Krishna is concluding and is just giving the ashirvads to all. Next one, he says, Adhyeshyate chaya imam dharmyam samvada mavayoho jnana yagnena tena ham ishtaha syamiti me matihi. Also he who studies this discourse, holding our discussion sacred in his life's course, by him too the sacrifice of knowledge will be performed. Becoming my worshipper, he will be transformed. So Krishna is saying, even that person who is just studying this discourse of Arjuna and Krishna, and who is considering this as sacred in life, holding it preciously as a sacred discussion between Krishna and Arjuna, even that person will suddenly become like a Purohit participating in a great Jnana Yajna, and that person will become transformed into a Krishna Bhakt, is what Krishna is saying. That person, just by studying this discourse also, by understanding it sincerely and holding Krishna's words, the golden words. But then studying Gita is difficult, everybody says that. How difficult it is? Well, understanding it is even more difficult. So what about those who don't understand? That also Krishna says, no problem. Shraddhavan anasuyascha shrunayadapi yo naraha sopi muktaha shubhan lokan prapnuyat punya karmanam. Even a man who merely listens intently, full of faith, devoid of any envy, for himself the liberation he shall obtain, and the righteous dreams of happiness he will attain. So even that person who is just sincerely listening without jealousy, just sincerely just listening, that person also will get the liberation. That person also will get the ananda. Next comes Krishna's question now. This is Krishna's question. So far Arjuna has been asking questions, 18 adhyayas. Krishna is asking one question. Kachidetat shrutam partha tvaikagreena chetasa kachitagnyānam sammohaha pranashtaste dhananjaya. O Arjuna, all that I said, did you intently hear with a concentrated mind by lending your ear? Has the delusion's veil been lifted? O Arjuna, has your ignorance been obliterated? So this is Krishna's question. All that I was saying, were you listening to it or were you daydreaming, is what he is asking. Arjuna, did you listen with your concentration? Did you like what you were listening? Has your ignorance gone? You had told me karpanya dosho pahatasva bhavaha. So has that karpanya dosh inside, what has happened? Because we know he was afraid, he had fallen, the hero had fallen before the battle. So has your ignorance been destroyed, is what he asks. Arjuna's reply, this is the Arjuna that we know, this is Gudakesha, this is Parantapa, this is our Dhananjay who is speaking now. So long we did not see, he is that Rudra, we see him speaking. Arjuna uvacha, Nashto mohaha smrutir labdhva tvat prasadan mayachyuta stitosmi gata sandehaha karishye vachanam tava. Almost the voice has changed, personality has changed, everything has changed in Arjuna. And what is he saying? Krishna is saying, you are free. He said, yathechasi tatha kuru. I am not ordering you, you have to do this. I am just your charioteer. You decide what you want to do. You decide where you want to take your life's direction. Arjuna's reply is a reply which is worth remembering, worth even emulating. Arjuna replies, my delusion is destroyed. My memory has returned. It's like Hanuman has now understood his strength. I can just take a leap and reach Lanka. It's something like that. Arjuna has remembered. His memory has returned. My delusion is destroyed. My memory has returned. O Krishna, by your grace alone, things have thus turned. I am now firm in my resolve, with all doubts cleared. I shall now act as per thy golden words that I have heard. He says, I choose to follow you, is what Arjuna says. I choose to follow the golden words that you have said. And I am once again strong. My memory has returned. And then Sanjay speaks. Sanjay uvacha. He is now speaking in the palace. Ityaham vasudevasya parthasya cha mahatmanaha samvadamimam ashrausham adbhutam roma harshanam. Thus I heard the words of Krishna, the divine Lord, and also the pious Arjuna, his precious word. So wondrous it was for me to understand that it has caused my hair at their ends to stand. I am feeling goosebumps just thinking of this divine conversation. How is this? How it has taken place? It was brilliant. It was Krishna and Arjuna. What a dialogue it was, he says. Now he's feeling gratitude for everybody right from Vyasa. He says, Vyasa prasadat shrutavan etat guhyat maham param yogam yogeshwarat krishnat sakshaya kathayata swayam. Through the grace of Vyasa, the mystic sage, the king of secrets, I was able to envisage from the Lord of Yoga, Sri Krishna himself, who verily declared the secret of yoga itself. So Yogeshwara has from his own Sri Mukha Krishna has only declared to me the greatest secret, and I have heard Sanjay is celebrating already. He goes on, Rajan sansmritya sansmritya samvadam imam adbhutam keshavor junayoho punyam rishyami cha mahur mahu. O king, this sacred discourse I am reminiscing. Again and again I am ecstatically remembering. O Krishna and Arjuna, I celebrate their conversation. Repeatedly I am rejoicing in jubilation. He says, I want to recollect this again and again. I am going to remember this brilliant dialogue that was taking place between Krishna and Arjuna, he says. And then he goes on further. He says, this is also something I cannot forget. He adds, how can Gita be complete without Vishwarupa? Is it not? So he recollects that also. He says, Tatcha sansmritya sansmritya rupamatyad bhutam harehe vismayo he me mahan rajan rishyami cha punah punah. I distinctly also remember that marvelous sight of Lord Krishna bathed in the divine light as he displayed his form resplendent. I again rejoice for witnessing the vision transcendent. I am again celebrating ecstatically that Vishwarupa. I saw that, is what he's saying. This is brilliant. He goes on. Now he forgets which side he is on. He forgets he is on the Dhritarashtra's side. He is seeing only one side, the side of the truth. He already declares the outcome of the battle before it is over to Dhritarashtra. He says, Yatra Yogeshwaraha Krishno Yatra Partho Dhanurdaraha Tatra Shrir Vijayo Bhutir Dhruva Nitir Matir Mamaha. Wherever there is the Lord of Yoga, Krishna, wherever there is the Master Archer, Arjuna, there exists the seal of divine victory and prosperity and glory for righteousness. This I proclaim with certainty. Sanjay is now declaring, he says, no, where there is Krishna, where there is his Arjuna to follow him, there, he says, there is a certainty of victory. Righteousness will only win. Satyameva Jayate. Well, that is it. Where Krishna and Arjuna are there, what else can be there? Thus ends the 18th and final Adhyaya of the Gita. Where Krishna parted his divine knowledge. So before I complete, this is over. It is the 18 Adhyayas are over. Damreji had introduced me to one concept called 19th Adhyaya. What is the 19th Adhyaya? He had asked. It was a very special day. It was I think it was Guru Purnima only that day, and I was asked in the early morning, 4 o'clock, when we were going for a walk, and I was actually scratching my head. 19th Adhyaya? I don't know what 19th Adhyaya is. My sister was also around. He asked her also. She did not know. Then we had a small satsang of other participants also. I gave some silly answer based on my logic, not more than that. They said, no, that is not it. 19th Adhyaya, 19th Adhyaya. I think I'll just ask the same question. I know the answer of what is 19th Adhyaya, but I think, can anybody answer it? It would be wonderful if you can. Can someone tell me, what do you think is the 19th Adhyaya?
I would say first Adhyaya.
Okay. Vasudevanji is saying first Adhyaya. Okay.
Diptiji, I have heard in the kids.
Oh, you have heard in the kids session. Okay, then Diptiji, I will not ask you. I'll ask somebody else.
Practicing what we have learned.
Yes. Perfectly. You said yes, practicing what we have learned. 19th Adhyaya is, you see, this was 5,000 years before, no? Krishna and Arjuna. But that was the last time did Krishna speak to Arjuna or any other Arjuna in the world. No, many have experienced Krishna's presence. Why are we picking up Krishna's book today also? Because dialogue has taken place with so many Krishnas and Arjunas, and that 19th Adhyaya is not in any Gita book. That Adhyaya is when Krishna inside of you starts talking and you become the Arjuna, and it is your dialogue. It's a secret dialogue between you and Krishna, and that is a dialogue which is going to continue. It's going to be very different for each person. On that day, each person described their 19th Adhyaya in such a different way. I was so overwhelmed that 19th Adhyaya, so many different, each person was different. Yet, how are they, is everybody correct when everybody is giving different answers? Yes, this is that principle, Ekam Sat Vipraha Bahuda Vadanti, one truth perceived by the wise. So that is the 19th Adhyaya. So I will just, probably today is our final session, we are concluding. Anybody wishes to add or share something, you are welcome. But first thing I would ask is, can someone share what is your 19th Adhyaya, please? What is your 19th Adhyaya? Which part is it going to be, which portion? Each person connects with the Gita differently. Gita is such a special scripture. Yeah.
I mean, I would say my first one would be increase my inner conscious
Increasing the
and try to
consciousness. Ji, ji.
conscious first.
Okay, ji.
From there, would take to the many other dimension or the step that we had discussed or learned.
Yes.
And first of all, thank you so much
Ji.
for
Thank you, ji.
wonderful,
Ji, ji.
wonderful
All right. Ji, ji.
session you have provided
Thank you,
to,
ji. Ji,
of
ji, ji.
course, us, to me
Ji.
and all of us
Thank you,
actually.
ji. Thank you.
And
So,
just
ji, ji.
transform me in way of thinking and way of
Thank you, ji.
life in a short period of time. Of
Ji, ji.
course, there is many things
19th
that
Adhyaya is a
we can
permanent one,
discuss,
is it not?
right?
Rakesh, 19th Adhyaya is a permanent
Right?
one. It's going to continue, and Krishna is going to.
19th Adhyaya is going
It's
to
not, Gita is not over. Gita is not over at all.
no.
Yes, yes.
Not at
Mine,
all, not at all.
yes. Mine also is now officially. This is my last batch which I am conducting. So for me also, I am also on the same. All of us are now probably, we are going to. We have finished Gita. You have also completed the Gita. We are on the
I think
same
we are just
plane now.
blessed that we were able to enjoy, I mean, learn from you in your last session
Ji, ji.
based on
Thank
what
you.
you are saying.
Ji, thank you.
And that's we are blessed.
Thank
Thank
you,
you
ji.
for
Thank you, ji.
saying,
So
I mean,
yes,
I
yes.
should say
Thank
us,
you, ji.
but
Thank you, ji.
over
So
to you.
Yes, ji. Rakesh ji's 19th Adhyay is raising consciousness. So anybody else, what is your 19th Adhyay?
My Adhyaya is to uh, watch the karmas that I am doing.
Okay, your own conscious
Yes,
Sakshi
yes.
Bhava with
The
Sakshi. Hmm.
what the karmas that I am doing, the thought process that is going within me.
Ji.
I had to watch that. I had to see that I don't indulge in any wrong things, wrong thoughts, wrong karmas.
Ji,
Because
ji.
ultimately, what I have learned from this session is ultimately your karmas
Hmm. Hmm.
decide your fate,
Ji, ji.
karmas decide your
So
journey,
wonderful, ji.
and yeah.
And
So, and another one very interesting experience I have had, which I would like to share with all the participants.
ji.
Once I was traveling to Mumbai, and in our train compartment, just beside me, there was one sannyasi sitting.
Okay.
Uh, he was wearing Bhagwa clothes, very fair looking, very handsome, very beautiful, and he was operating some. He was doing something on the laptop.
Hmm.
So that was the first time I saw a sannyasi using laptop. This is a story of some, I think, in 1991.
Oh, 91.
Yeah,
That
1991.
91
And I
laptop.
was
Okay.
surprised.
Ji.
So when he finished his work,
Hmm.
I just asked him
Hmm.
that out of curiosity, I just want to know that you are a sannyasi and how come you are using a laptop?
Hmm.
So he just smiled
Hmm.
and he said, yeah, I was translating some Sanskrit script from Sanskrit to
Okay.
German
German.
language.
Ha
I
ha.
said, oh my God, so you know German also? He said, yes, I know 9 languages.
Okay.
I said,
Ji, ji, ji.
oh my God.
Ji, ji, ji.
And then we started
Okay.
conversation.
Okay, ji.
So he said, what are you doing? I said, I do my business.
Hmm.
And then I said, you are a sannyasi and have you seen God?
Hmm.
I just asked him. He said, no, I have not seen God. Then I said, how come then you are pursuing this? He said, it is just by my guru has given order me to translate this. I am doing it. He said, I have spent 6 months in Himalaya wandering here and there to find out God, but I did not see a God.
But he
In
found
that,
a guru.
yeah, but in the same Himalaya, I found a guru,
Yeah.
and now I am serving for him. And then I said, you are not. He said, but then for a person like me, how do I believe that exists a God? Then he said, see, you are doing business.
Hmm.
So you understand bank and bank working. I said, yes. He knows there is a banker. Yes, sir. He said, God is a banker.
Hmm.
I said, how come? He said, see, if you go to your bank or some bank and say that you need 5,000 rupees very desperately, and if you don't get 5,000 rupees, you will die. The banker will say, okay, you want 5,000. Let me see. What is your name? I said, Srinivas Muge. Do you have account in my bank? That is the first question, whether you have account here.
Hmm.
If you don't have account, I can't help you.
Okay.
Then if you say, yes, I have an account here. He said, okay, what is your account number? Let me check up. He said, oh, you want 5,000, but you have only 50 rupees in your account.
Hmm.
I can't give you 5,000 rupees. You have to first accumulate, and minimum balance is 100 rupees. So you have to accumulate 5,100, and then only I can give you 5,000. So this is how the
Okay.
banker works, and this is how your God also works.
With karma is what you are understanding, Ji.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
okay.
have to keep
Okay.
on adding in your account
Mm-hmm.
by performing good work,
Okay,
by
Ji.
thinking on good thoughts, and that is how your life journey will be decided. So that was a very interesting interaction with that
Ji.
sannyasi,
All right, Ji.
and
Okay,
and
Ji.
he happens to be ex owner of Sathe Biscuit.
Oh, okay. Such a wonderful
If
thing.
you have
Yes, Ji.
heard of Sathe
Yes,
Biscuit, now
yes.
that is what we see in Parle.
Ha.
There was a time when Sathe Biscuit was the most
Okay.
topmost brand,
So
and he
wonderful,
was the
Ji.
owner of that
Ji,
biscuit.
Ji.
He renounced his property worth 400 crores that time,
Ji,
and
Ji.
took to sannyas.
Ji, Ji, Ji. Yes, Ji. All right. Thank you, Srinivas Ji. Anybody else would like to add what your 19th Adhyaya is? I know we are all having a shortage of time, so maybe in short, everybody can probably.
I would like
Yes.
to say, first of all, the first thing is that um, this session of Gita came through me through my friend, and I'm so grateful to her because I have been wanting to read Gita, understand it since last 7 years. I got the first Gita book during my pregnancy. It is still lying, and I could never get a chance to open it. I guess now it was a chosen time for me.
Ji, Ji. Gita chooses the time for us, Ji. That
Yeah,
is there.
so this is
Yes.
very
All
very
right.
overwhelming experience,
Thank you, Ji.
and
Your
last
19th
week
Adhyaya?
my
Yes.
19th adhyaya is the Karma Yoga,
Karma Yoga.
na Buddhi Vedam.
Na buddhi
So
bhedam. Okay, these are two very nice principles. Karma yoga means not wanting any expectations. That was what. And na buddhi bhedam, not creating a divide in another's consciousness or mind. But
I
it is.
try to preach people
Ha
that
ha.
it's okay,
Okay.
accept them as they are.
All right, ji. All right, ji. Ji, ji, ji. And this is the thing. Gita, one principle can be held on for life. It is like I have now 700 shlokas, all of it. But for me personally, I have even also identified some shlokas. This I have to follow. This is worth emulating. If I can even practice one shloka in life, I think I would be. That would be the ultimate success in my life as well if that is implemented. So I think yes, that is a wonderful two
One last
shlokas.
thing to
Yes,
say
please.
that during the whole journey, I could relate to. I mean, I could go back to my like years and then relate to what was happening. So that is really really given me the strength that yes, we have to believe, we have to like surrender ourselves to go in a smooth journey. So I mean, that has been like a stamp because
Okay,
I
ji.
was never going to
Dots you were
surrender all
connecting.
those things.
Suddenly dots
So
have connected. Gita has
yeah, yeah,
connected the dots. Ji, ji. All right.
absolutely.
Ji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om, ji. Hari Om. Hari Om, ji. Yes, ji. Hari Om.
Thank you, Sushri. It was very nice
Ji, ji. Hari Om.
session.
You are
Like I
19th
feel that
Adhyay ji? Yes, ji.
thank you very much for
Ji.
this session. It was
Thank you, ji.
wonderful. But unfortunately, maybe I'm not so blessed to have listen to all the sessions in between week.
It is online now, so you can anytime listen, ji. I will share it
Yeah, yeah,
later
but
on.
that lightiness is gone. Absolutely. But
Ji, ji. Okay, ji. Ji.
definitely miss this. I would like to join the next session if we can permit me.
And
You should tell
yes.
the house the last
Ah, no,
week.
no problem, ji. Yes, ji. But there will be a time. Last 2 years, the sessions were going on continuously. Now, probably another work is going to
And
come,
I have
so
that
no
in
session
the
will be
book.
there again. Now,
Long
yes,
since I have the book, but
yes.
my kids actually started the education. They had
Oh,
separate classes for Gita.
ha ha.
So I listened to sloka only when along with the daughters. Till then I've never listened to
Okay, ji.
slokas. So that itself has attracted me a lot.
Ji, ji.
And first time I went to little depth was last year.
Okay, ji.
Similar to this, there was during COVID session they had ISKCON got some
Okay,
sessions
ji.
in my
Ji.
district.
Ji, ji.
So I happened to
All
attend
right,
that.
ji.
It was
Thank
very
you.
nice.
Ji,
So
ji.
I feel that there is that ignition as through
So
ISKCON
nice
I
to
got
know.
ignition,
Yes.
and through you
Ji.
I got
Thank you, ji.
little depth.
Hari Om, ji.
So definitely I would like to continue with the next class, next
Okay.
session, and
Mm.
enjoy the thing.
Yes, ji.
And my 19th thing is what is going on. Maybe last 2 3 years, I've been thinking of uh, detached attachment.
Okay, okay. Mukta Sangha,
So
we would call it. Mukta Sangha, free union. All right, that's a wonderful
we cannot
principle.
just run away from our duties,
Yeah,
but
all
do
right, ji.
duties with
Yes, ji.
So that's
All
why I'm
right, ji.
coming up
All
with
right, ji.
Mama.
Ji, ji. All right, ji. Hari Om, ji.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, ji. Thank you. Hari Om. Hari Om.
Hari Om ji.
Hari Om, ji. Yes, please. In short, because we have all a small like shortage of time also, because everybody has to go on with the daily routines. Anybody
Yes.
would like to, just so that it will be a nice sharing of different 19th adhyayas, we can also try to, if you identify some principles which we want to, because it is okay, you can probably even forget these sessions, but never forget the principles that Krishna has given. They are the principles that are going to, give us light, so we can hold on to them. That would be sufficient. So just 19th adhyay must begin. It must begin, and it begins for all. Just identify your own. Yes, Dr. Pushpaji wants to share something.
Ji, I think yeah, I have entered into this 19th Adhyaya
Hmm.
in this age
Ha.
through you.
Ji.
I just try to recognize and realize Krishna's conscious as
Krishna's
far
con. Ha ha ha.
as
Ji ji ji.
uh,
So
my
ji, as much
in
as
my
possible.
level, in my
As
level.
much as possible, I recognize
As much
Krishna's
as possible.
presence everywhere.
Yes, Ji.
So
Thank
wonderful.
you so
Thank
much.
you, ji.
Thank you
Thank you, ji.
so much
Thank you, ji.
for you, Ji.
Thank you,
Through
ji.
only God's, I think this is God's decision. Only through you only I can enter
For
into the
and for me, I think
19th Adhyaya.
conversations are always decided by the participants in each batch. So I get to learn through the batches only the Gita shlokas how everybody contribute. We say no Jnana Yagna, the Agni starts growing more greater when different ahutis come. So that is how probably I get to learn. I am also going to miss these sessions. I think after today it was for 2 years every day.
Should you,
Yes, ji.
you have become a nimitta for
So
our
much grateful to
enlightenment.
you,
Thank you,
Ji.
ji.
Thank
Thank
you
you,
so
ji.
much.
Jai, Jai,
Hari Om Ji.
Hari Om, ji.
You have become a nimitta for our enlightenment.
I think no, I think that is wonderful, ji. I think I should also try to become
You have
nimitta
been
for
the
my own
chosen one.
enlightenment also. Ji,
You
ji.
have been the
Hari Om,
chosen
ji.
one for us.
Ji, Sri Krishna Arpana. Ji, ji. Hari Om, ji. Hari Om.
Perfect. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you,
You
ji. Thank
made Gita so simple,
you.
definite, and clear.
Ji.
And in my 19th Adhyay, I want to apply all the knowledge in my day-to-day life.
Practical. Yes.
Thank,
Ji, ji.
thank you so much.
Thank you, ji. Thank you, Savitri ji. Krishna also in the 12th Adhyay, his dearest devotee is that who is that person who becomes the example of Sanatan Dharma. He becomes the example for others. People will get attracted to Krishna by watching you, by watching your behavior. You don't have to go and tell anything also because you are that devotee. You are following the principles and practical. So that is so important. Yes, Savitri ji. Ji, Hari Om.
Yeah, you are the missing. Saha Mama Priyaha.
जी
So, really.
कृपा अस्ति जी गुरु कृपा अस्ति अतः just lucky Damleji's blessings. I remember there was a time I would cover my ears and run away. I don't want the Gita. My mother would try. I was like, no, not now. So I think Krishna does it. And so what is your 19th Adhyaya, Bhamaji, if you were to share?
I'm 83 years young
Ji, that is only 83.
with three stents in
Huh?
my heart.
Ji?
With the three stents in my heart.
Ji. Big heart then. Ji.
I'll become more conscious as well.
Yes.
Really
Yes, ji.
better.
Yes, ji. Yes, ji. All right, ji, Bhamaji. Thank you, ji. Jai Shri Krishna. Hari Om. Yes, ji. Hari Om. Yes, Poonam ji. Dr. Poonam ji. Yes, please.
Thank you so much.
Thank you,
And
ji.
my 19th adhyay will be to go back to Gita again and
Again.
again. I
Punah,
will be
punah.
ready so
Richyami
that
punah.
I
Yes.
don't forget what is said.
Like Sanjay, Rajan Sansmrutya Samvadam Adbhutam.
So that
And
I
Poonamji,
will
I think
be
you have already studied the Gita because every time while reading, I would observe you are already pronouncing the Gita shlokas. You have already studied the Gita, is it not? That
yes, I have
you have,
I have read it, I have studied it,
yes, yes.
but every time it gives me immense
So
joy and
wonderful.
pleasure.
Ji, ji, ji.
So I would like that's my
Any
19th
one
adhyay.
shloka you would just want to recite just for us? Any one shloka, Dr. Poonamji? I just wanted. All 18 adhyayas I was not asking because sessions were going on. So any one shloka I would just love to hear just one. Anything you feel like.
And it, as such, it's difficult.
Ha.
So I'll say, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharat abhyuthanama dharmasya
Tadatman.
tadatmanam.
Srujam. Jai Shri Krishna. Thank you, ji. Hari Om. Hari Om. Yes, ji.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. Hari Om. Ji. Yes, please. Anybody wishes to add or share your 19th adhyaya? You are most welcome. Yes, please. Hari Om. Ji, Dr. Atul ji. Namaste, sir. Ji, ji.
this wonderful journey on which you put us.
Thank you.
For me, my 19th Adhyaya is to have that feeling of complete surrender,
Ji.
samarpana
Samarpana.
to Lord.
Okay, ji.
That
Ji.
is what.
That is the and the final thing. It also interestingly Krishna tells that is the final thing. Tvameva Sharanam Gacha. He says, and for all who have surrendered, the promise is there already. He has said, I will take you across. Yes, Dr. Atulji.
Sister Shruti, I just want to add one thing
How?
because Dr. Atul is saying something, and he is my class colleague in
Okay, ji.
classmate in MBBS time. So it
Ji.
was real. Hi, Dr. Atul. I think it was really nice to be together again in the Gita class after our graduation in MBBS.
Ji, ji.
Yes.
Ji, ji. Hari Om ji.
This
So thank you
this
so
is
much.
also the this is also the blessing of Krishna only.
Ji, ji.
Yeah.
Yes, ji, yes, ji. And for me, I wonderful family I got to interact with so many days, and we are all for Gita, we are all connecting for Krishna's principles. So the sharing, it is something which is wonderful. And one more thing I just wanted to say, if we wish to remain connected, there is a group called Krishna's Delight Group of participants who have completed the Gita so far in all the batches. We have bi-monthly meetings as well. We call it 19th Adhyaya group only. We are trying to connect with Krishna in different ways, and it is like a very democratic group. The group decides, group votes what has to be done. Group only decided for a scripture session once a month. Then the group said scripture is not enough, kirtan is required. So scripture and kirtan session we have two. It's every Saturday, every first and last Saturday we meet at 6 p.m. in the evening. So those who wish to join the group, the message is also going on in the group. So you can. I will share the link. Please feel free to join. Join. So Ji, yes, please.
Gita ji, can I say something?
Okay, Ji, yes.
Poonam ji, because first thing from the first day till this, what beautiful thing that I have noticed in her, which really inspiring, she's always smiling.
Ha, Santushta Satatam Yogi.
Always smiling. She
Gita
has that
Shlok.
aura, like
Yeah, yeah.
around, but still we can feel that aura when they're her smile. So that is the
Yes,
beautiful
yes.
thing that I noticed.
Yes, Ji,
Each
yes.
participant is
Yes, Ji.
different sessions. That one particular thing that I
There's
noticed.
a Sutra Manigana Iva and Krishna is our Sutra, connecting all of us.
I
Yes,
always wanted
yes,
to tell her this thing, but then the session was going to
yes.
start.
All right, Ji, fine. Ji, thank you, Dr. Atulji, thank you, Deepti Ji. Yes, please. Yes, anybody else wishes to, you can share, after which we will then conclude our sessions. If you wish to share something. It was again, for me, I have to say namaskarams to all of you. I would say Krishna's blessings. I would also call upon your blessings. A new journey is going to start for me as well. I hope I follow the principles of the Gita. I don't want to, just verbally only speak the Gita. I want to live the Gita. I want your well wishes as well. And so, best wishes to all of you. Anybody wishes to add, we can add, or I will conclude after that with the Shanti Mantra. Yes, please. Hari Om. All right, then Shanti Mantra then. All right. Hari Om. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् हरि ओम तत्सत् कृष्ण वन्दे जगद्गुरुम् ओम शांति शांति यस हरि ओम जी हरि ओम हरि ओम जी हरि ओम
Thank you.
हरि ओम जी
Sorry.
Good night.
हरि ओम जी
Hariom.
हरि ओम जी
Sessions are in YouTube then.
yes on YouTube the link I will be sharing it.
How do I go to that YouTube?
Hi, that link is there. You just have to click on. I will share the link in the group. And I'm actually, it is the first time I am also uploading all of them. I'm going to try to rearrange it to it so that it becomes more easier to view as well. But all the episodes are being recorded and uploaded. And one more important thing, sorry I missed out. Very special thanks to Arvind ji. Because of Arvind ji, the sessions are being recorded. He approached our trust. Arvind ji has done the translation of the children's book into different languages also, and he said we should record these sessions, and so he recorded. And some days 2 or 3 sessions I lost them because of some problem in my system, but Arvind ji had recorded in his audio, and because of that we have the sessions. So I would say I'm grateful. Namaskaram Arvind ji, thank you so much. Hari Om. Arvind ji cannot speak while recording is going on. He's using some device for recording. So, but I think afterwards when he gets he will be able to listen. Thank you. Yes, ji. Hari Om.
Thank you.
I hope all of you just remain connected with Krishna. Best wishes for everything. Jai Shri Krishna.
It has
Hari Om.
been it has
Thank you,
been
ji.
a beautiful experience, and
Ji.
now it is very
जी
lot of, at least I'm short of words to say. There's
जी
so many things that I want to say, but
जी जी
thank you so much. I mean,
आ
it's
रहे जी
like the one of the best life experiences.
थैंक यू सो मच जी थैंक जय श्री कृष्ण जी
Jai Shri Krishna, Hari Om.
Thank you so much.
देवकी परमानंदम कृष्णमंते जगद्गुरुम हरिओम हरिओम जय श्री कृष्ण धन्यवाद आजी धन्यवाद हरिओम जी हरिओम 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 जी हरिओम हरिओम जी
Shweta ji, can you, if possible,
हरिओम जी
can you share that Vivekanand book? I mean,
Oh yes,
Vivekanand.
I'm sorry. I had asked and I did not get a response, so I forgot about it. I will check
No
and
worries.
get it. I'll
I'll
find
connect
out.
with you over the WhatsApp.
Yes, all right. Hari Om. Hari Om. Hari Om.